Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ollie Collins. Oh, it's all gone wrong. 7 games without a win. We're in the relegation zone. The tactics aren't working. We're doing something. We're going to try something ridiculous today because I'm running out of ideas. Hello and welcome to part 21 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games in the league for you. We're at home against Oldham, and then we have the triple threat match away at Dagenham and Redbridge. Since you were last with me, though, it's, oh, God, it's been nightmarish. We've only scored 2 goals in 6 matches since the last video. It's horrible. We were so good against Yeovil, and we've been so rubbish against everybody else. We gave up on the diamond. We couldn't go to a 4-4-2 because we don't have anyone who can play on the left-hand side of a 4-4-2. Flynn Clark can play left wing, but not left midfield. Same with Okoronkwo. So we went for a 4-2-4. That also didn't work. So today, I haven't done anything like this for years in a YouTube video, but needs must. We have made some signings, which I'll introduce you to the new players and then talk you through the system that we're going to be using. Firstly, we got rid of Bakayoko and Quirk. That added like an extra £700 to our wage budget every week with those 2 leaving on free transfers. And we've brought in some loan players, 5 loan players to be precise. Khan Bennett is a striker who can also play on that left wing or attacking midfield, sort of on left midfield and sort of right wing, but really he's going to be playing between those 2 positions. He's on loan from Colchester. He's on loan until, January. A lot of these are only until January because we weren't able to get them any longer. Clubs are weird. But yeah, he's with us until January. We've then got Jaden St. Paul, who is a goalkeeper. Again, on are they all January? On loan from Norwich until January. We've tried him a couple of times and he's conceded a lot of goals. To be fair, Marshall has also conceded a lot of goals. So no one's really doing a good job in goal for us at the moment. We don't have a first choice goalkeeper currently. Caden Kelly is also on loan until January. He's a central midfielder who can also play attacking midfield and up front. As you can imagine, the run we've been on, he's been rubbish. Jason Sraha, on loan until January, centre-back who can play left-back. Guess what? I mean, actually, he's not played that poorly. He's been all right. And then lastly, Elika Ohui, also on loan until January, is a right midfielder who can sort of play in the other positions on the right and central midfield. And he's on loan from Lincoln until January and hasn't yet played for us. And he is the reason we're trying this, because we've got multiple players who can play on the left wing. Clark, Kelly, Okoronkwo, Bennett. None of them can play left midfield. And then over here, we've got Ahui, Knight, who can both play right midfield, but not right wing. So straight away, we had to have one of our right midfielder deep and our left midfielder attacking. But then I thought, well, the diamond, I like the fact we have a holding midfielder and an attacking midfielder in the diamond. We've brought players in specifically for those roles. So why not keep them? Why not go with, I guess you'd call it a 4-3-3? I mean, the game's calling it a 4-1-4-1 DM asymmetric AML. I'd call it like a lopsided 4-3-3. We've got to try something. A 4-2-4 didn't work. The diamond's not worked. We can't go back to the 4-4-2 because we don't have the players for it. We can't do a 4-3-3 because we don't have the players for it. I mean, you could say, well, we could just do this with 2 strikers and it would be fine. Or you could do this with, you could do like a 4-4-2 just with the left winger pushed on a little bit. We could retrain players. But I figure when the chips are down, play your best players in their best positions. So that's what we're going to try and do today as we take on Oldham. And I really hope none of the Oldham fans I upset on Twitter last week are watching this video because they've seen their name come up, because this is probably going to be embarrassing. We are really, really, really struggling. Look at the state of us. We just need to survive this season. The board were right. The media were wrong. The media now thinking 13th is much more realistic for us than I think they had us in 5th or 6th initially. We're going to struggle to stay up, I think, and it's only to be expected because we've got no money. We are so poor compared to everybody else. It's only Boston and Dorking who are paying less than us in their salaries every year, and the 3 of us are less than half Ebbsfleet And if you compare us to the likes of Southend, Rochdale, Southend are paying 5 times as much on salaries as we are. Are Boston and Dorking, the other two teams, struggling down here with us? Boston are. Dorking defying all odds up there. I mean, perhaps Sports need Mark Yates to come in as manager. Bottom line, we're skint and we're struggling and we need this to work. So it's St Paul in goal, because we'll try him again. A back four of Stewart, Donnelly, Bennett and McKnight. Griffiths holding the midfield with Levy as the central midfielder. Hui on the right. Clark advanced on the left. Kelly as our attacking midfielder. And then Sewell up front on his own. But not really. He's got these two boys up there supporting him. It might work. It might be an absolute disaster. There's no way of knowing, really. And we're probably going to do a lot of experimentation in the next few matches until we stumble across something that works. Oh, yeah, by the way, I sacked the assistant manager as well. There needed to be a scapegoat. I needed to get the heat off of me. So the assistant manager has been sacked. We don't yet have a new one. So we've put an advert out. So at the moment, I'm doing team talks on my own like a caveman until we get our new assistant manager in. I'm hoping one of the sports legends that we've got in our backroom staff steps up and applies for the job. Oh, look at that. Straight away, Reece Bennett is in with a goal. The new system works. Yes, it was a corner. And nothing to do with the new system, and we're 3 minutes in. But we haven't scored a goal for ages. It's just nice to do a football. It's been a long time. I've even changed my suit. I've got a different jacket on in the hope that this jacket inspires us, despite the fact that two different blues clash. And it looks awful, but this was the next suit in the suit rotation in my wardrobe. So we're trying all the tricks. Change the tactic, sign new players, sack the assistant manager, change your suit. If all of them work, maybe we'll be all right. We only have to avoid relegation this year. That's the full extent of the job. Don't get relegated. And at the moment, we're not in the relegation positions. Remember, we just have to hit the Kev ratio. If you're new to the channel, you might not be familiar with the Kev ratio. It comes up every year at various points in Non-League to Legend. The Kev ratio is very simple. Oh, look at that. Sewell with his first goal at this level. Remember, this boy has the potential to be a championship striker. So I'd like to think he will start scoring. I'm a genius. Tactical genius. Look at us. Who thought you'd see me do an asymmetric system in non-league in 2022? I didn't, that's for sure. But it's what we're doing, and it's working at the moment. But yeah, the Kev ratio, very simple. In a relegation battle, you just want as many points as you have games played. So if we do pull off this win here, we then meet the Kev ratio, 9 points from 9 games, and it's always enough to survive. If you track along with getting as many points as you've played games, you will not get relegated, except in the most remarkable of circumstances. So that's what we do. That's what we aim for, a point per game. And if we can muster our average up to a point per game, then we're doing something right. That's poor. We shouldn't be conceding from set pieces. We've got some very good defenders at this club. They're just not really gelling yet. And I am aware that's a lot of the problem. We signed a lot of players in the summer. I know we kept... Oh, Bennett scored again. I tell you what, Bennett's had a hat-trick. 2 goals from 2 corners. This is exactly what we needed. The set-piece instructions are on the Steam Workshop, by the way, and they're not new. We haven't tweaked them. We've had the same set pieces since episode 1 of this series. It's nice to see them actually work for once. Goodness me. But yeah, we brought in a lot of players. I didn't think they'd take this long to gel. They are. Hopefully, they'll start to bed in. Flynn Clark has been one of the bright points. He's been our best player this season. He's currently the top scorer, highest average rating, all that kind of stuff. He's too good for us, really. But we want everyone else to rise up to his level. Right. Stay focused. I'm actually having to read the team talks about my assistant manager there telling me what to do. Perhaps he was holding us back. I like the fact we've sacked the assistant manager and all of a sudden we're going to pick up our first win in forever. I mean, you've obviously not experienced the misery I've experienced because you saw us win yesterday. You saw us win 4-0 yesterday and then have a narrow defeat. And was it a narrow draw? You probably thought, oh, here we go again. He's going to get promoted. You didn't have to live through those 6 matches I had to live through. I was really starting to panic. But I'm feeling a lot better right now. And it's the big ball forward looking for Sewell. Can't find him. And now Oldham are on the attack again. And I guess the worry with this system is it might be a little bit odd defensively because we don't really have much of a shape. Our shape is just kind of go everywhere, fill all the gaps. And I guess we've kind of fallen into a a 4-4-1-1 there as part of defending, which, I mean, if we're going to do a 4-4-1-1 defensively and a 4-3-3 when we're attacking, that works for me. I can live with that. It's a bit fancy for this level, but we'll cope. And they've won the ball back in midfield here, and that's poor from St. Paul. Goodness me. You should not be... That's basically gone through him. Marshall, get warmed up. You're not on the bench. Get ready for the next game, because this is awful. We shouldn't be giving the ball... That's Kelly giving the ball away in midfield. That shouldn't be happening. And St. Paul shouldn't be getting beaten like that. That's two of the new low knees, letting the side down a little bit there. I really hope we don't drop these 3 points. I really feel like we need them. A lot of the games, we've actually been doing quite well for XG as well. One thing I haven't looked at yet is the XG table. I wanted to look at it with you lot so we can enjoy it together. So we'll have a look at the XG table after this match and probably really upset me because I think we'll be much higher up the table on the XG table, which, frankly, I've long been in support of that being the one that they use to decide promotion and relegation. Forget goals. Goals are boring. We should be judged on XG. I don't like leaving anything to luck or chance. Can we win the ball back, please, and go and do a football? Because with only the 1 goal advantage, I am nervy, especially as the players start to tire. We're going to have to make some substitutions, and I don't know that we've got players on the bench who can fit into this system. We might be having to move the system around again, and JB Sewell has done exactly what was asked of him, and he has weighed in with his 2nd goal. I mean, this is the best we've played since Yeovil on the first day of the season, which is not bad for a tactic we threw together this morning. It's not like we've trained this for a week. I threw this together on the morning of the match. It's based on it started as a 4-4-2 wing play. It's obviously been changed a bit. Imagine if this is what we use for the rest of the season. That would be bonkers. Right, Bennett can come on and play there, which is nice. Donnelly is tiring. So we can play Cisse at centre back. People have been asking me for me to do that for ages. And then I think we leave it there for now. We don't need to make too many changes. We'll just take off the 2 players who weren't playing particularly well and save our final substitution for anyone who really, really needs it as they start to get tired. I think we probably need to drop a little bit of praise. I just don't want to drop it too early. If we score from this free kick, I'll drop some praise. It's Flynn Clark from range. Oh, ho, ho, and Cisse tucks in the rebound. We're going to drop some praise, boys and girls. Well done. We've gone from scoring 1 goal in 6 matches to 5 goals in 1 match. I think we're going to persist with this system for at least 1 more game. It seems to have been something of a difference maker, which is very pleasant to see. Bennett can come off now. Morris comes on for him, and the flexibility that we've got in the squad. I mean, that's the one benefit to the transfers we've done over the last couple of years. I've deliberately brought in players who can play multiple positions. Obviously, that hasn't led to us having full cover out wide because we weren't planning on playing with wide players. But certainly in defence, in the central midfield areas, and I mean, everyone can basically play a second position, and Saul's going to grab a hat-trick here. Oh, he's narrowly denied. That would have been lovely if he'd have grabbed a hat-trick. That would have really confirmed that this is the system for us. Tell you what, Reece Bennett's not on the pitch. I was going to say he's on a hat-trick too, but we did just take him off. So he's probably not going to score from this corner or the resultant cross. Right. Oldham on the attack. Doesn't matter. With 3 goals to the good with 5 minutes to go. If we throw it away from here, I should probably just resign and let them bring back my old assistant manager to take over from me. Sewell with the cross. Clark can't win the ball in the air. Morris is there to pick up the scraps, though, and plays the big, deep cross that their goalkeeper was always going to collect. There was nobody in there threatening the keeper, and it's the big lump forward from him. And Cisse looks quite good at centre-back. I mean, I'm a genius. I've identified that all on my own, and it's only taken me a season and a bit to realise he can play centre-back. Genius. Sometimes I just wish the comment section would help out and let me know if there's a player who can play somewhere else. Sewell is in, and Sewell is once again denied his hat-trick. Please, can we have a 6th goal? I really feel like I've earned one. I've been trying so hard. Please. Oh, look at us. That's Oldham. We're not up to mid-table, but you know what? They get a pat on the head here. We need to move on and not allow ourselves to become too comfortable. Exactly, we do. I need an assistant manager. That wasn't a good team talk. I'm not very good at team talking. But hopefully we'll get some assistant manager applications in before the next match and we can have someone in place to help me. But there you go. There's your proof that I can do it on my own. No assistant manager, No worries. We just scored 5 goals. Hi, Oldham fans. If you did tune in, hope you enjoyed it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the interview process for the post of assistant manager of Peterborough Sports. In front of us, we have all of the applicants for the job. None of our internal candidates have decided to put themselves forward. So we're going to have a little look to see what bunch of losers have turned up. I mean, goodness me. I guess the obvious one is this guy, Kevin Foley, who is a coach at Brackley Town, previously been their caretaker manager and the assistant manager of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Does he call it soccer? That would be problematic if he does. But he looks like a big boy grown-up assistant manager. I don't know why he's only coach at Brackley. Have they got some kind of Superman as their assistant manager? Can I even look at their staff? I can. Their assistant manager is not as good as their... Brackley, have a word with yourselves. You've made a boo-boo here. None of the rest of these getting the job done just based on the 3 key attributes. It's a little bit of a shame to see none of our guys come forward for it, but what better way to save a failing football club than it being led by 2 Kevins? That's the dream right there. Goodness me, have we got £10,000 compensation to pay? How much salary does he want? Tell you what, you better be good. Come on, let's be reasonable here. Kevin Foley, ladies and gentlemen, will hopefully... Oh, in fact, he's the guy who wanted it as well. Even better. We have signed another player as well. Where is he? This guy, Jensen Metcalf, is a 20-year-old defensive midfielder / central midfielder who's on loan from Oxford, actually until the end of the season this time. We've got a proper full-size loan. Oxford signed him on a free transfer from Everton in the summer, played him 3 times, he scored once, and they've still loaned him out. So he's been playing in League One, albeit sporadically, but it is only early October. He's going to be the guy who sits here in our system to finally replace Griffiths. And we're slowly but surely putting together a team, both on and off the pitch. Playoffs, here we come. I love the playoffs. Right, the front 5 is set for now, based on the performance in the last game. So they're unchanged for this triple threat against Dagenham and Redbridge. Metcalf does come in at the base of the midfield. We've shuffled the defence around a little bit to try and make it so we don't concede as many goals as we did in the last game. And we are keeping St Paul in because we won a football match with him in there. So he gets to stay in for now. Any more nonsense out of him? And Marshall's back in, though. I don't know which one of them is better. They're both 3-star players. They both have very similar polygons. So who knows? Carry on your performance from the last match, chaps. Let's go and win a football match. And where are Dagenham in the league? They are up in 7th place. So it's probably a game we're going to lose unless our fancy system confuses them and they don't know what to do about us. They've got a goalkeeper called Just Ham. He's named after the cheapest sandwich you can get in a Tesco meal deal. That's amazing. Right. That's my favourite thing. They should sign that. Who is that guy? There used to be a footballer called Mayo, didn't there? They need to get him in as well and have Just Ham and Mayo in the same team. See which one of them comes out the strongest. Right. We just had a goal disallowed while I was riffing about sandwiches. That could be the title of my autobiography. And Levy's given the ball away in midfield, which is troublesome, to say the least. And it's Dagenham who are on the attack. Ball over the top. We've been caught out a little bit there, and St Paul is beaten at the near post, but gets up quick enough to grab hold of the football and prevent a terrible action from being inflicted upon us. What a terrible game this has been so far. I've just looked at the XG. We've not made it to 0.3 between the two of us so far. Oh, we have now. Good work, Dagenham, for getting up to 0.2 in this first. Sorry, 0.21 in this first half. I wonder what they got the 0.1 for. In the middle of that sentence. That has just been ropey. The pundits might not believe, but the fans do. Do a foot. Right, that didn't work. We haven't done individual team talks for ages. Should we just do the good old-fashioned I believe in you thing? Pump the fists. Tell them I believe in them. Oh, he's gone fist pumping. Look at him. Everyone's happy. Everyone's gained confidence. Pump those fists. I haven't done that since whenever the last streamer showdown I was in was. I really need this new assistant manager to come in so I don't have to focus so much on my team talks. It really does feel like it's beneath me. I wear a tie. I shouldn't really be communicating with the riffraff. I'm more here in an upper managerial position. I want someone else to be involved with the hugging the players and making them run and stuff. Right, Metcalf hasn't played a lot of football and, as you can imagine, tired, so he can come off. And Saraha can come on at left back for Morris. And for my final trick, Saul has been poor today, so we're going to bring on Okoronkwo up front, who, frankly, hasn't done anything wrong to lead to him being dropped from the team, other than he wasn't scoring, which I guess is something of a failure for a striker. But he was, he deserves an opportunity to show what he can do in this shape as well. There's a world where he plays on the left-hand side and Clark goes into the attacking midfield position with Saul up front. So that's something I'm considering as well. Although this system seems to be better than what we were using before, I'm not necessarily set on the personnel within it just yet. And Okoronkwo is in! And there is a third goal of the season for Francis Okoronkwo. I think he got both of his previous ones when you were watching as well. Maybe he only scores for you lot. But the important thing is, after a horrific run of form, we might be turning this around with 2 wins in an episode. This is like the reverse of what normally happens. The amount of times over the years you lot have called shenanigans where I've won every match between the episodes and then been rubbish. It's the reverse of that. I love it. Look at us up to 17th place. We're going to get a nosebleed if we're not careful. Old meal deal there, not having the best of afternoons, is he? Bennett heads it to Levy, and now Okoronkwo with the chance to break clear of the defence. He does! Oh, lovely stuff. It's 2-0. And Okoronkwo putting forward a very strong argument for starting in the next match. Him and Saul both seem to be enjoying having a team that's basically built around having everyone focus on getting the ball to them so they can then score a goal. Who'd have thought that would benefit a striker? 2-0 to Peterborough Sports in a triple threat match makes it all a triple threat away from home, makes it all the more impressive. And Kelly looking for a penalty there, doesn't get one. And there's Levy. Is it Levy or Levy? I keep rotating what I call him. And Okoronkwo's only gone and done a hat trick. And that was the best of the lot. And boys and girls, it would have been really harsh to drop Saul and just bring him in to see what he was like in this system. What we've learnt today, both of the strikers play quite well in this system, which you know full well what that's going to mean. I'm going to sit here working out how to get them both in the team again and ruin them both, because they both seem to want to play as the lone striker in a 3-3. So I guess we'll just have to have one in the team and one on the bench. It's not a disaster, is it? This has been really quite comfortable in the end. I'm still not sure about St. Paul. Marshall is probably going to play again before the next episode, but ultimately things were looking desperate 20 minutes ago, and now we've picked up a couple of wins. We're comfortably ahead of the Kev ratio, and we've got a new system that makes me look like I know how to move the buttons around. This one isn't even a preset in the game. I put all these players there myself. Oh, I'm such a big boy now. Right, what a win. We certainly made our doubters eat their words. Yes, we did. Eat those words. Look at us go. We're up to the giddy heights of 17th in the league. There was never any fear of relegation. I can't believe you all doubted me. Right, we will be back as ever tomorrow. Somewhere around here, we might even do the local derby with Boston. It's our nearest. I still think they're the closest clubs, although now we're in Cambridge, probably less so. But the local derby with Boston, because it's also a potential relegation 6-pointer, as they've also had a pretty rough start to the season. So that seems like a nice place to come back tomorrow. 2 wins. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.